Hello guys, and welcome to Graphology series where I'm analyzing my subscribers' handwriting. My name is Alex, and if you haven't done this yet, make sure to subscribe. Now let's see what we have in today's handwriting. So as I was looking at this handwriting, I realized that it has a lot of letter-specific traits, so we're going to focus on these ones today. But first, a little bit of general stuff. Handwriting is rhythmical, it's legible, and it has an average size, which all of these points at the person who's organized, who's well-balanced, and who doesn't have much mess in their mind. There is one thing, however, if you look at the sentence here, "Thank you for offering this, I'm very curious to know." So in this area, the letters have largely increased the size. What it points at whenever we see a sudden increase of size in the letters, it means that the person is getting excited about something. They associate some positive emotions. So I can see that this person here is really excited to have their handwriting analyzed. Thank you. The pressure seems kind of heavy, however I'm thinking whether it's written on the tablet or on some screen. Anyway, this points at the person being confident. The baseline is straight, which again confirms being organized, and there is a slight slant towards the right hand side, which points at person being future oriented, being optimistic. Now let's get to those letters specific. So first of all, we have the letter A's, which are often opened. Whenever we have letters O's and A's open, these are communication letters. So it means that the person is talkative. When you look at the O's, they have this slight loop inward, and in general, whenever you have looping, tangling in the O's, it's not necessarily a good trait. It points at these people not being honest and often lying. However, this loop is very, very tiny, so it signifies something different. Basically, this person is likely looking for compliments. Another thing about these communication letters, these A's and O's are often very small, which might signify that the owner of this handwriting has some difficulty communicating at times. One thing I see a lot in this handwriting is those little hooks. If you look here or here or here, these are so-called anger hooks, and they are called this way because they are very sharp, they are unnecessary, so whenever they appear, there is some frustration going on. Now, if you look at this connection here between the letter F's, the person just made a singular stroke, so it signifies fast thinking. Instead of doing double strokes on two letters, they just went all the way down. So very fast thinking, lots of ideas in the head, and not enough time to do all of those things. Another trait that can confirm that this person is very fast thinking, having lots of ideas, being very creative, is when we look at their letter T's. So the T's are talking about achieving our goals and how high our aspirations are. These T's here are all very, very big, and the T-bars are being put high. Also, many of the T-bars are rising high, which signifies optimism in achieving these goals. There is one thing, however, when you look at this T, top bar doesn't really connect with the stem. So whenever something like this happens, it means that we are not fully being understood in what we're trying to express. Another thing we have when we look at the letter T's is this hook on the left hand side, and it means that this person is very much justice oriented. They want to be fair towards people, and they want people to be fair towards them. Okay, when we look at D letters, they are written in a very specific way. It basically points at some spiritual tendencies, also some shyness possible. If you would like to interpret them in a negative way, they point at dishonesty. However, we were talking already about communication letters. We were talking already about the need for justice, so this trait is not being confirmed and it's not being accurate in this particular handwriting. When we look at the lowercase letters now, so we have the Y's. The Y's usually should have a loop. However, these Y's are just a straight stem downwards. So it signifies that this person is most likely a loner. Okay, another lowercase letter is J. So you can see that the J's are all very loopy at the bottom and open. It signifies that the owner of this handwriting is a very charming person and that the good is coming from their heart. So it's a very good trait to have. When we look at the G letters, these are kind of inconsistent. However, many of them are looped with a very large huge loop at the bottom. Lowercase letters, basically the whole lower zone, is talking about material stuff. It's everything connected with daily life, like money, food, sex, finances. So letter G, written this way, points at poor money management skills and also at poor saving habits. I'm so excited, there's so many letter traits in here. Now, when we look at the N letters on top are really sharp, which normally they should be very mellow, very fluid. So it points at a sharp change of thought. The intention or the understanding of a thought has suddenly rapidly changed, and it also signifies fast thinking. So as we said before, this person is definitely a fast thinker with lots of ideas. Very interesting trait in this handwriting is all the letter K's. They all seem like they are capitals in the middle of lowercase letters. So whenever the lowercase letter K looks like a capital letter K, it points at defiance. It points at someone who's a rule breaker. It's a very rebellious character. It's possible that this person is a young person because this trait often shows in young people's handwriting. Now we have the letter E's. So E's are a little bit squashed, not that much. I would say there is some difficulty expressing emotions. Now the letter R is written in a different way because normally we have the leading stroke and then the second one, so it should be 2 strokes in the letter R. I mean, according to like calligraphy rules. However, here we always consistently have only one very strong stroke. So it signifies that this person is trying to reform their way of thinking. They like taking initiative. And also in the R letter, when we have the second stroke higher than the first one, well, in this case, we completely don't have the first stroke. So the trait is doubled in power. It points at curiosity and it points at stubbornness. Again, okay, now let's do the capital letters because the person here wrote me the whole alphabet, so we have an easier task. If we look at the letter A, we can see that this person has difficulty being understood by another person they're communicating with because the first stem of an A is you, the second stem of an A is a person you're communicating with, and the line in between, the bar, is basically your communication. So you can see that there is no connection to one side. So there is some miscommunication going on. When we look at the letter B, there is no connection at the bottom, and that bottom connection is with our instincts. With the letter B, it's pretty much like this. I have a thought that I want to confirm with my emotion, that I want to confirm with my instincts. And here there is no connection in this case. So it seems like this person is not fully trusting themselves yet. Since we said already they're probably young, that would make sense. And also we said that this person is having difficulty expressing their emotions and they sometimes have problems with being understood. So that will make sense. Letter E pretty much works on a similar level, so here we have no connection with emotions. So this person is possibly still trying to find their way around and who they are. Letter F, we have the same thing. Now, when we look at the letter V, it's just the opposite of the letter N we were talking about, you remember? So the letter V should be sharp at the bottom because letter V is like an accomplishment of our thought process. So when it's delicate like this, it means that the thoughts change fast and it means that they have a relaxing thought process. So a little bit still floating around. Letter Y tells us a lot about our imagination. So here we have it very delicate, so we have the flow of imagination, again, creativity. And the last thing I want to talk about is the personal pronoun I, which is a statement of how we are viewing ourselves. And here we can see that the singular line is kind of big, so they have a pretty healthy ego, they are confident and definitely independent because there are no strokes on top and at the bottom which connect to our parents or whoever we were growing up with. So there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the analysis of this handwriting and we had lots of traits today. Let's see what the next video brings. Now, if you have any questions, make sure to write them down in comments. Also send me your sample of handwriting, as until the moment I'm analyzing your handwriting for free, so don't miss out. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.